Back at it again, and another day, another Democrat doing the unthinkable. These guys will stop at nothing. What these Democrats are doing is absolutely disgusting behavior. It's absolutely sad. It shows their desperation, though. It shows that we are winning, that we are making a difference. But I listen. I pray for these folks, man, because, whoa, man, they're gonna need it. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and this is probably gonna anger a lot of you. Let's dive in.
All the glory I receive, it's His grace, not a perfect me. We are at a high.
For those of you that don't know, I guess I should say this. That is Fani Willis. Yeah, the prosecutor from Georgia that took Trump's mug shot and thought it was a great idea. Yeah, that one backfired in a spectacular fashion. That is Fani in a church trying to cover up for the things that she's done. Just listen. You'll hear it.
All the glory I receive, it's His grace, not a perfect me. We are at a time in history, people. Hear me on this. We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world. The Lord is completing us. We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace. With that kind of support, we will move mountains and do Jesus' will, stumbling all the way. So His flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child has a message for each of you today. Please find a way to do your extraordinary, God-given assignment and make this community and the world a better place for all of His people. See, it is never about who you are. It is always about the great I am and who He is. See, we are all flawed, sinners, unworthy, imperfect, damaged, but we are qualified upon His calling. You can find common ground with people of all different ideologies if you simply commit yourself to being obedient and steadfast in your efforts and His word. If you commit yourself, God will turn your hard-headed self into the extraordinary for His kingdom. Thank you.
Oh, man, when will they learn? When will they stop? Goodness gracious. So, yeah, Fani running to a church to defend herself and mixing God into the defense of herself. Disgusting stuff, man. Disgusting stuff. I just... These folks, you know, like, part of you wants to believe, like, they can't stoop that low, and then they go and do it, and you're just like, I guess I always knew that they were these types of people, you know, going to the Lord's house. Jesse, take it away.
Joe Biden's White House is directly involved. The Fulton County DA who forced Trump to take the mugshot, Fani Willis, allegedly hired the guy she was sleeping with to prosecute the Trump case. Fani's lover boy, Nathan Wade, was just a personal injury attorney you'd see on billboards and never even prosecuted a felony case in his whole career. Well, Fani decided Nathan was qualified in other ways and made him the highest paid prosecutor in the state. Fani apparently hired her unqualified boyfriend and gave him nearly $1 million to prosecute Trump. But the $1 million in
Allegedly, of course. Gotta say that. Allegedly.
tax money isn't all really going to the case. A lot of it's going to wine and dine Fani. Fani's lover took her to Napa and a Caribbean cruise. Somehow Fani found a way to get kickbacks from a sex scandal. Bless her heart. This would be like Jeff Sessions sleeping with an unqualified Robert Mueller, hiring him as special counsel, and then using the special counsel slush fund for romantic getaways to Cancun. You cannot hire someone you're having sex with, give them a promotion, hand them public money, and then use the public money on steamy trips together, and then hide it from everybody. But it's a lot worse than a sexual kickback scheme. Documents show Fani's lover boy met with the Biden White House while he was investigating Trump twice. Fani's lover boy files for divorce. The next day, Fani taps him to be Trump's special prosecutor. Then Fani's lover boy has an 8-hour conference with Joe Biden's White House counsel. Then a few months later, the lover boy has an 8-hour interview with the White House. And lover boy billed the taxpayer $2,000 for each meeting, which would mean local prosecutors prosecuting Donald Trump are officially working with the Biden White House. And so Georgia taxpayers are getting billed so Fani's boyfriend can conspire with Biden to lock up Trump. Oh, and they're being billed for Caribbean cruises. The people who are prosecuting fraud are the ones committing it. And the White House is always saying they have nothing to do with Trump's indictments. It's all being done independently. So then why are Biden's people meeting with Trump's prosecutors for 8 hours? What, are they talking about the weather? Probably. Now, I thought the giggly
We know what's going on. We all know.
Wiccan jury forewoman was enough to get this case tossed, but this heaping pile of conflict and corruption, slam dunk.
You had a very big event yesterday, as you saw, in Georgia, where the district attorney is totally compromised. The case has to be dropped. In fact, they say she's in far more criminal liability than any of the people she's looking at. So I think that when you look at what happened, where they pay a lawyer with absolutely no experience $700,000 who happens to be her lover or her boyfriend, and then they go on trips and vacations together, very expensive vacations together. And the reason they paid him so much because he was after me.
Tommy Lahren, Outkick host, joins us. Again, Tommy, I did not see sexual kickback cruise in this case. Did you see that coming?
You know, Jesse, I watch a lot of Bravo, and this feels more like The Real Housewives than real life. But, you know, I got to say this. He definitely didn't meet with Joe Biden himself when he went to the White House, because we know Joe Biden couldn't stay awake for 8 hours at a time. But beyond that, you know, Fani Willis, I would have given her more credit than this, because you would have thought if she was trying to pull something like this off, she wouldn't have been so conspicuous about it. I mean, Napa, Florida, Royal Caribbean cruises. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. Go to Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, something like that, something that's not costing your taxpayers this much money. But it just goes to show that everything that Democrats accuse Republicans of doing, either they have done, they are doing, or they will do. This is another example of that, and it reads...
That's facts. And I've said this exact same thing. The exact same thing you just said. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Happy to hear I'm not alone.
more like a Spanish soap opera, but it is real life, unfortunately, and probably nothing will happen to Fani in the aftermath of it, and I think that's just the cherry on top here, Jesse.
Yeah, she'll probably get a promotion, but this case is totally imploded. So, Tommy Lahren, you're giving people advice. If you're trying to keep your corrupt sexual relationship with someone discreet, you don't go on a cruise with 1,000 people?
No, I think that you got to do Chuck E. Cheese, like I said, Olive Garden, Dave and Buster's maybe. I mean, that would be my advice. A little bit easier to conceal than going on Royal Caribbean cruises and going to Napa Valley. But good for her. I'm glad that her and her boo thing got their, their fun time paid for by taxpayers.
Fani's been busted.
There isn't anything more Democrat in the playbook.
Not by Dave, but she's been busted.
Not by Dave, but she's been busted. Got them cheeks clapped. Yes, sir. Man. Hey, he must have laid it down good on her if she paid him to clap her cheeks. Oh man. Wow. That is that's incredible stuff right there, man. You don't hear that too often. The woman paying the man to get her cheeks clapped. Sheesh. Brother man must have been putting it on her. Okay, let me stop. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Like, you know, it was just like low hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like it was just there. You know, it was right there in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't help but to make the joke. Okay, but I agree with everything they said, minus one part, and that one part is nothing will happen to her because of any of this. And I disagree. Something could happen to her because of all of this, and that's if we make us think about it. We have proven to ourselves that we can make a change. We can make a difference. It requires us making us think about something, right? It requires us complaining about something, right? But we have seen it. Look at Bud Light. Just saying. Like, look at some of these different instances of conservatives complaining about something and things changed. Something happened. Look at what's the chick from Harvard? Claudine, I believe that was her name. Where's she at now? She ain't at Harvard no more. Tell you that. She's not at Harvard, right? So if we complained about it enough, there would be something done. There would be something done, most definitely. Because this type of stuff is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Now, y'all gonna have to let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Oh man, I still want to make some jokes about the whole the whole payments thing, man. That stuff is hilarious. Woo, that is too funny, man. Too funny. But hey, getting a good laugh in is good for the soul, so I ain't gonna complain about getting a good laugh in. But yeah, going to a church to try to defend yourself is absolutely disgusting behavior on a serious note. We saw that happen with Joe Biden as well recently. Him going to a church to give a campaign speech and allegedly, you know, filling the crowd with paid actors, right? I don't know if they were paid or not, but I don't believe that they went to that church. I've been to plenty of black churches. I grew up in a black church, so I've never seen that many white people in a black church a day in my life. And this is nothing against white people, right? Obviously. But a fact is a fact. I've never seen that many white people in a black church. But then like half the church was white when Joe Biden all of a sudden showed up. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it with the nonsense. Stop it. We don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe you staging the stuff for the cameras, man. Come on, man. How disgusting is that? Like, you stage, allegedly, got to say allegedly, you know, this stuff for cameras, and then you use the church as your campaign speech, and then you got Fani using the church to try to defend some of her disgusting alleged actions. You know, terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Now, if a Republican had done this, this would be front page news. But because it's Democrats, mainstream media isn't going to talk about any of this at all. Sad. Sad. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.